Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF44 coming at you with another video. All right, so Lakers, Blazers tonight, 7:30 at Crypto.com Arena. Oh boy, the Los Angeles Lakers are really disappointed us this year, haven't they? We've talked at length about the pace of game and how we blew that thing at the buzzer, blew a 17-point lead with 10 minutes to go in the game. A lot of things went wrong. Defense was awful. Offense was stagnant. One-man band. My turn, your turn. Everybody else get in where they fit in. Anthony Davis doesn't get in at all. And as a result, we lose. LeBron James, had a couple of good plays down the stretch of the game on the offensive end. Defensively, he was basically the reason things went wrong. Russell Westbrook had a nice stretch getting us the big lead. Other guys as well. Austin Reeves and Wenyen Gabriel and Lonnie Walker. Those guys were really helping us get the lead. Russell, obviously, as I said. But we just couldn't put the right players on the floor down the stretch of the game. A lot of things went wrong at the same time. We had the wrong players. Foot speed was an issue. Timeouts weren't being used properly. Rotations didn't match what it is we were seeing. And as mentioned by LeBron James, we botched the final plays coverage on top of every other play that we botched leading up to that final play. It was just a lack of effort on the defensive end, a lack of desire from guys, an unwillingness to just play together in that basketball game. Defensively, guys didn't seem to know how to make up for Patrick Beverley's absence as well. And just ultimately, I just thought that lackluster, lack of desire, lack of togetherness really was on display against the Pacers. So tonight, a night and a half later, we got a chance to go up against the Portland Trailblazer team who, quite honestly, you guys, they shoot the ball. Okay, let me just let everyone know what it is that I just found out about the Portland Trailblazers. They played against the Los Angeles Clippers in their last game. They did lose by like 5 points, something like that. But they shot 17 to 35 from three. Anthony Simons hit 9 threes in that game. Jeremy Grant hit 5 threes in that game. The reason why they lost, based on what I saw on the box score, they fouled too much. I guess Jeremy Grant ended up fouling out of that game. A good portion of their starters had 3 and 4 fouls, and Norman Powell got to the line 10 times. He had 30-something points. Zubats also ate very well. And, they ultimately just could not overcome their fouling situation despite shooting so well. Meanwhile, the Portland Trailblazers shot extremely well, as we said, with those two, Grant and Simons, just splashing the ball from everywhere. And you got to deal with guys like Josh Hart, Eubanks, Devin Eubanks, what's his name? The center that they have, Nurkic. Obviously, you have to deal with their team as a whole. Nasir Little was expected to be a game time decision, from what I understand. He went in the last game, but he has something going on there. And Dame Lillard, the great Dame Lillard, will not be available tonight. He has some type of injury. So we will be dealing with Anthony Simons, who could obviously more than capable of putting up numbers that will shoot you out of the game, obviously. So this is Anthony Simons basketball game, essentially. You got to treat Anthony Simons like he's Dame, and you got to expect he's going to score like Dame, as he did in the last game. He set 37 points and 9 threes. If you do not treat him like a superstar, he will torch you like a superstar. It's that simple. I don't care that he's not Dame. He's somebody who's ascending into his own. And if Dame wasn't there, the team would probably still be solid, and he would probably be putting up all-star numbers. So do not think he's not capable of that. Whether Dame's on the floor or not, he's just like CJ in that regard. In fact, I could argue he's probably better than CJ. I know, blasphemous for some, but maybe accurate, very seriously. So you better keep an eye on Anthony Simons, because I do expect for him to do another 30-point performance tonight. I do expect that. Josh Hart, obviously, Laker ties. We know Josh Hart. We traded him in the AD trade. And since he's left here, he's developed into something really good. He didn't have his greatest shooting game in the last game, but he did fill up the box score with defensive stats and stuff like that. I'm going to tell you what I've always thought about Josh Hart, even before we drafted him. He's a winner. He's a winner. He has not been in winning situations because he was drafted to our terrible basketball team, traded to New Orleans' terrible basketball team, and now plays for Portland's solid basketball team. He's never been in a situation that he was actually drafted to be in, which is a win now, help your team win by being a role player. That's who he's always was. That's who he was when he was drafted. A guy who played 4 years and just simply knew how to win and knew how to help his team with intangibles. Now, when we had him, he had issues shooting a three-point shot. That was my thing with Josh Hart. He was inconsistent shooting, but he was a young player. He was basically a rookie with us. Since then, he's gotten his stuff together. Now, you and I both know we've seen Josh Hart at his best. We know what he can do when you put the ball in his hands and let him go. Because in the Summer League about 4 years ago, he won the Summer League MVP. And he did it with the ball in his hands as our only go-to guy. And he was destroying people one play at a time like he was Allen Iverson or something. So we know what he can do. We know what he can do when his confidence is up and when the talent that he's going up against is not as good as him. He can destroy them and leave them in the dust. And he's just getting better and better. So with him going up against us, I expect him to have a big night tonight, man. I really do. I expect him to have a big night. And I also expect us to make life hard on him because Patrick Beverley's going to be back. And that's going to make a big deal for our defense. Now, granted, we haven't been able to rely on Patrick Beverley offensively at all. In fact, he's been about as awful as LeBron's been defensively. But offensively is not the problem for us with him. We need him down there to stabilize things so we don't have sequences like we had against the Pacers ever again. So it's one of those things where we understand that we have to give something up with our roster. We're just simply not a good enough roster to be able to cover everything the basketball floor needs you to cover defensively. We have to give something up. If we're going to try to keep up with our speed, we got to give up size. If we give up size, we got to keep up speed. If we want to shoot the ball, we're going to have to accept the fact that we don't have as talented players doing other things. So it's just like, what are you willing to give up, and can you afford to give it up in order to compete? And so the Lakers are going to have to make better decisions that they've been making, make choices that ultimately work. And I'm not sitting here saying that I necessarily know the answers to everything, because some of the stuff that the coach was trying, I probably would have tried myself. But I just think you got to keep looking for stuff. When you realize something's not working, you're losing the lead, guys are not playing defense, you got to sit people down, man. You got to be facts over feelings. And I just didn't sense that he was ready for that. I think he was more so ready to play politic ball in the Pacer game, and it cost us the basketball game, and it's his fault. You know, it's always going to be the player's fault to a degree, but if you're not going to do what you need to do to get the players to get in line, then obviously that's your job, man. You know, I look at LeBron James and I say you're a player who has all the power in the world, but at the end of the day, you're a player. And so it's not your job to see to it that you're in the game or not in the game. If you're not performing, you need to be sat down by somebody whose job it is to do that. And I think that's where Darvin Ham didn't secure the victory, man. And I do believe that he does a lot of things that can help with having guys believe in him and believe in themselves later on. And I think that's going to manifest for us. Even though this might be a lost season, it'll probably manifest for us in the future seasons. But my thing is, Darvin has to understand that he's coaching the Lakers, and that you may not coach to see all that manifest if you keep losing games like this. They will blame you and fire you before we even know what it is that you actually can bring to the table. That's my concern. Now, maybe I'm biased because I really do like Darvin Ham, and I really wasn't a big fan of Frank Vogel, so I don't have the same energy for Frank, but I think it's because Frank had more time to prove that he wasn't that or was that or what have you. This is still the beginning for Darvin. If Darvin gives me 2 years and proves to me that he's the same way as Frank, then I'll be screaming the same way as Frank. So hopefully it never comes, but that's gonna be it. That's why you hear me not coming down on Darvin, because it's still early. But all in all, I've been happy with Darvin Ham. I just feel like his hands are tied behind his back because his clutch affiliations, it doesn't allow him to hold up LeBron James accountable like need be. LeBron James would be wise, if he wants to be the best version of himself this season, to let coach do whatever he needs to do. To secure wins for this basketball team in the short term. If what you see is me creating problems because my conditioning isn't where it needs to be, so that I can't keep up defensively and I'm not hustling like I need to, then the coach needs to do what he needs to do to sit me down so the team can win. And in the meantime, I need to work on my conditioning, work on what I need to do so that I can keep up with the team. And if I can't do that, I can't be mad at the coach for doing what it is that's logical to do. And I think that's where LeBron James has to give Coach Ham leeway. Yes, he's your guy. Yes, you hired him, but you hired him to do a job. And that job was to coach this basketball team. And if you only hired him so that he can help you coast while you're getting to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record. And you do need to understand that there are going to be a lot of people who are going to look at you as a bad guy for dragging everybody else in on that. The defeatist attitude that I think LeBron James is behaving with is the losing that we're facing. It's not the fact that the team ain't good. It's not the fact that we're missing things and have to give something up at all times. It's not the fact that Anthony Davis isn't getting the ball all the time. It's because LeBron James doesn't have it in his head to do what needs to be done to make us the best version of ourselves. He doesn't believe it's necessary. He's pouting and protesting Jeannie Buss, it seems, and Rob Pelinka for not making the moves that they probably told him they were going to move. And as a result, he's not giving his all to this unit. He's not giving his all to us. He's throwing away possessions, going after his own scoring numbers at all costs. And guys are pointing it out on this internet left and right. And I'm just poised to see him do something that responds to that in an intelligent way. Not just in I'm going to stick my chest out and prove to y'all that I'm still King James way, because that ain't really intelligent at all. You know, a lot of people have been pointing out how he's been doing things that doesn't really help the team, and he continues to do things that doesn't help the team to the detriment of the team, but I don't think he understands how that really does hurt his legacy. It hurts it bad. You won one championship with the Lakers, but you're still in a Laker uniform, which means there's more failure to do if you don't keep winning, and that will go against you. So I don't know if he cares about that. Like I know he's been hearing people bash his name and tarnish his legacy forever. At some point, you just realize, you know, that it's only gonna be told by whoever wants to speak. But at the end of the day, man, it's basketball, bro. Now, we could either lie about what we see there and say that you're the greatest thing ever when you're really not helping the team the way you need to, or we could tell the truth about what it is. You could take that wisdom, do something good with it, and turn it around so we can have a better opinion. Or you could dignify everything that's coming out of our mouths and continue to chase Kareem. A Kareem Abdul-Jabbar that you're inevitably going to chase. A Kareem Abdul-Jabbar that you don't get any kudos for catching. If I'm being honest with you, you're already close enough. And you pass him up, how much better is it? You're two, bro. You're about to be one. What's the hell's the difference? There ain't no difference. If I'm being honest with you, no one's near either one of y'all. You're already home. So it's just a, and I don't want to make this something it's not, but I don't know how to make these conversations other than truthful. It's just him aiming for stuff that people have told him to aim for, man. Keeping up, you know, bullcrap that doesn't necessarily do anything but make him more wealthy. You got money, bro. It's time to win, my man. I promise you're going to be just as rich regardless. You're going to wish you gave it all to this Laker thing so that people would see this Laker thing as a success and not throw away your bubble championship as just something that you happen to get. I think that was the most important championship he ever won. I think that was the hardest championship he ever won. And I don't think he's dignifying it because he's still in this uniform and he's smearing boo-boo all over the canvas of his Laker tenure with this season. And it's not minor, man. It's not minor at all because of how you're doing it. Because of the fact that you are the problem with the team. That's what needs to be just believed on his part. Like, it's not because you suck or some stupid low frequency, opinion. It's because you're not believing that doing the things necessary to help this team win is worth doing. And as a result, you're doing the opposite and it's helping us lose. And the best thing for him to do is just understand that it's not. In order for the Lakers, and I've said this already, it's the second time I've said this, but in order for the Lakers to be a championship team with him leading it, it needs more than what we have right now. But if he gives the ball to Anthony Davis and let him lead it, and Anthony Davis plays like he's playing, with LeBron James, a good version of LeBron James being Anthony Davis's number 2 at this level, you can win the championship. You can win the championship because Anthony Davis is unguardable and LeBron James, efficient LeBron James, next to an unguardable Anthony Davis can't be stopped by any team that's currently constructed in the league right now. I know of them all. Ain't none of them will be able to stop that, y'all. Not with AD playing 50, 20, 50, 8 block, 5 blocks, affecting things on the defensive end, and LeBron James is efficient and looking for teammates who are active, like Wenyen Gabriel and Lonnie Walker, who are playing good. Brother, they don't need much else. Whoever they're going to bring in, they're asking to do Lonnie Walker stuff and Wenyen Gabriel production. Because if you bring in somebody with higher cachet, they're going to demand the ball more, and it's going to take away possessions from those stars. Isn't that already a problem we have? Not getting the ball to Anthony Davis? You don't need people to be that much better offensively, because all that's going to do is take away from Anthony Davis even further. What you need is guys to be good in their roles. And what we have is guys who can complement their roles if you put the right ones on the floor at the right times and put in some more players just like them who can fill in the holes that we have. That's what LeBron wants Jeanie to do, but he ain't going to convince Jeanie to do that if he's essentially saying, give me help. The equation LeBron James wants to present to Jeanie is give AD help. That's your formula, sir. Not continuing to be the main character. Not this year. You can't be the main character this year and expect to win because we can't bring you what you need. You're too old, bruh. And I'm 4 months older than you, so anytime I offend you with that, I'm offending myself. But you're too old, bruh. You cannot expect that the Lakers can bring you and the piece that you are today, what you need to win a championship with the pieces that we have. But Anthony Davis, he don't need as much as you to be featured as the centerpiece around this year's basketball club. He does not. He just needs the ball more. He needs you to get out the way and stop being the main character. And you got to psych yourself out in order to do that. You got to unlearn some bull crap that people have been teaching you since you were a child in order for you to effectively do what you need to do to win. And I don't know that LeBron James is being told that. I think everybody around him is paid to not tell him that. And that's his fault. Let me tell y'all something. If I ever get the power that LeBron James has, you know what I want? Honesty. Honesty. I'm praying for it now. If I ever get to a place where I have any kind of power, I need people around me who can hold me true. Hey, Brandon, you can't do that. It's not going to work for you. I need more of those then. Hey, Brandon, what you're trying, it looks amazing, even though literally we're looking at a calculator that says it's not going to work. I think LeBron James has people around him doing that. And I think he put them people around him. I think he wants that world around him. And you know what I think? I think it makes him weaker. I think it makes him more of a loser. Hold me accountable. Keep balancing the environment I'm a part of so that it can be stable regardless of my mindset. That is smart. And that's what I'm asking for LeBron James to be so that we can beat people, man. I swear to you guys, it ain't nothing but competitive nature that drives me. Just competitive nature, bro. I just want to beat teams, bro. I want to go into Portland or go into Staples Center and have Portland walk away a loser, bro. Every single night if possible. That's what I'm used to, and I know how to get it. And it starts with mindset, it starts with attention to detail, and it starts with not hanging your head on wins and losses, but overcoming your own tendencies, as we always preach. And for goodness sakes, the little things, you guys, matching up, timeouts, all of those things. We just have to get better, and we just have to retain the information from the mistakes that we've made. That's it. The last time we played the Portland Trail Blazers, we shot 6 from 33 from behind the arc. I don't expect us to shoot that bad. Why? Because we did shoot that bad, and it scared us. We learned from that. Now we're a much more disciplined three-point shooting team. Dame Lillard had 41 points in that game. I believe it was. He ain't going to play it all at night. This is a different Portland Trail Blazers team than we saw in the third game of the season. And we're a different Laker team. But we have reverted back to some bad Laker ways. We have reverted back to the confidence of a team that was playing like that. We have reverted back to some of those chemistry issues that team had that couldn't seem to get right. And I need people to stop reacting to Russell Westbrook on this team. Russell Westbrook is going to be Russell Westbrook, and he's going to do it in his own pace. He's a little faster than everybody else. Pace, the way that he moves, the way that he tries to get other people involved, he's just faster than everybody else. And you know what else he's quicker to do than everybody else? Celebrate. He's celebrating like he's won when the game is very much in the balance. All you're doing is giving bulletin board material to the other team, bro. All they're doing is getting motivated by that. You're not sealing anything because we don't have enough of a good enough team to cover the holes necessary to keep them from responding to every one of those things. Intelligence, gentlemen. Bold confidence without the ability to cover your backside just leaves you looking the way we looked against the Pacers. Foolishness. Folly. Loser stuff. That's what I saw Russell Westbrook engage in that game. And you know what that loser mentality, that quick to gloat garbage did? It pissed off his teammates. It kept them from wanting to hustle as hard. And it fired up the other team. And it got them into a position where they were more focused. If your teammates ain't celebrating you dancing, or if your gloating is only to show up your teammates, which I believe it was, I don't think he was trying to entertain the crowd at all. I think he was trying to show up some of them other teammates that don't really like him. When he's flexing and rolling his shoulders and stuff like that, his antagonist is his own damn team. That's my opinion. And that's who he's gloating at. He ain't trying to show up the other team. We trying to beat on his own squad, and that is why we're losing. If your op is on your own team, who you really trying to beat? If we up 17, he starts getting happy, and all of a sudden y'all stop playing defense. What am I supposed to think of that as a fan? Have you forgotten that y'all represent what I represent? Not just y'all each other and y'all little moment and how y'all egos is disrupted by each other's presence. I don't give a damn about that. I'm a fan of a team that's been here in place longer than some of y'all even been playing. I've been watching this game and enjoying this game longer than some of the dudes running around. And you think I want to see LeBron James throw a hissy fit because he doesn't like Russell Westbrook, who's throwing a hissy fit because he don't like LeBron James? I don't like neither one of y'all. Get the hell off my team. It's my attitude. You see what I'm saying? Like, and I don't mean that, but like that's how I mean that when I see them acting like this. When they behave like that, I don't like either one of them. When they don't like each other, I don't like either one of them. Because what I need them to do is to at least be professional enough to win. That's what I like. Like me, the fan, enough to put y'all crap aside and put on our colors properly. Or just do me a favor, man. As I said, just sit down, bro. Sit down. I promise you, I can root for my team without you on it. I can root for Austin Reeves. I can root for Wenyen Gabriel. I can root for Lonnie Walker. I promise you I can. I do it with the same intensity as I would LeBron James. I promise. It doesn't move me, man. As long as they're wearing purple and gold, it's good. As long as they're helping us win, it's really good. And if they're helping us lose, it's really bad. It doesn't matter who you are. So LeBron James needs to understand that for which he celebrates himself is the very thing that makes people dislike him here. We don't want to celebrate you like that, man, because you want to celebrate yourself. Our superstars didn't want to celebrate themselves. You think those guys they clapped a little bit when we celebrated them. Mamba out. Thank you. I love my teammates. That's all I got from my superstars. I ain't hear all this. Well, I'm trying to pass somebody up at all costs. We go get our personal stuff and we go bounce. I don't feel like playing no defense because my legs hurt. I don't feel like playing no defense because these guys ain't gonna hustle. What are you talking about? You set the tone. You the star. People gonna do what you tell them to do. Anybody don't do what they supposed to do, they supposed to sit down next to the coach and they can't be out there with you. So why are you dictating terms in a negative way by saying what ain't gonna happen before people get a chance to address what happens? Adjust what happens around you. You're lobbying for a rookie coach and then you're unhappy about matchups and how we messing up plays. Fool, you asked for a rookie coach. What are you talking about? This type of stuff, I ain't got no patience for this, man. And I ain't gonna develop any. I'm sorry, I'm not. So as I see this game in Portland, I'm like, man, this team shoots a lot of threes and we didn't guard any 3-point shots. We're just progressively getting worse perimeter defense-wise. As the game's progressed, it seems. We're getting better at shooting our own threes, but we're getting a lot worse at guarding the perimeter. And so if we're going to do anything for ourselves tonight to redeem ourselves from that epic choke job that was their Pacer game, you're going to put a hand in the defender in the shooter's face tonight. And I don't care who you are, you're not leaving no defenders open, no shooters open. Anthony Davis, you got to get out to the 3-point line, man. I need you to trek out there and guard. You ain't got to run out there and foul nobody. We know how easy it is to catch fouls, but you do have to try to contest like LeBron did on the closeout against Nembhard. I thought he contested pretty well, even though his spacing was horrible. If he would have been closer, it would have been a contest that would have worked, I think. But he was too far off the man. And I think it was because he was trying to guard the man in the paint, which means Russell Westbrook probably should have been the one to rotate over to try to contest that. But Russell Westbrook's mind's in the clouds most of the time on defense, which is why we need to disarm him from that. If he's not going to be directly affecting defense in ways where we can specifically give him a person to lean on, like we did game 6 of the season or something when we started putting him on heavier players. If we're not going to give him a specific role on the defensive end, we do need to sit him because he's not defensive minded. He's going to botch defensive plays, bro. Him and LeBron James are essentially non-defensive players. And if you're going to have them down there down the stretch of basketball games, you're going to give up baskets. And if they don't like that coming out of my mouth, they need to do something about it. I'm telling you, my tolerance level is low because I know I have a superstar in place, and his name is Anthony Davis. We messing around trying to make the main character. It's year 20. Sit. Take a back seat, sir. Until you're back to playing like Bron. And then when you're back to playing like Bron, giving us 25, 6 and 5, 25, 7 and 7, I need your assist to go up. But once you get back to being Bron, then we can start figuring it out. But Bron's going to have to take a back seat in the fourth quarter and let Anthony Davis get his touches. We're not a better team if we don't. I don't give a damn how much more hot he gets. If he forgets to be a passer, we're going to be a loser. 3 assists in the last 2 games. 6 assists in total, 2 total games for LeBron James and 2 losses. Oh, no, we won that San Antonio game because he hit 11 threes or 7 threes out of 11. So I got to take that back. We did win, but it didn't feel like we won. When you give up 138 points to a team, you think you won? You captured a victory that they failed to take from you. That you didn't win. 138 points, you didn't win nothing. Let's just be clear. So as far as I can tell, Los Angeles Lakers are a team that is lucky to be running into a Portland Trailblazer team that's undermanned. They don't have the strongest bench. Dame Lillard's going to be out. The most important thing we need to understand is Jeremy Grant and Anthony Simons are on the floor, and they're going to be rocking. Josh Hart can rock too because we know he's going to be highly motivated to play us. So if you don't come in with the intention of guarding the perimeter, they're going to do the same thing Pacers did to you. If you don't have an intention of getting Nurkic off of the floor, he's going to do the same thing to you did in the 3rd game of the season. That is what the story was against Portland that day. We failed to get him off the floor just like we failed to get Zubac off the floor. Back-to-back games, 2 centers, 8 repeatedly. And that's what's going to happen tonight if we don't get them in foul trouble. So I'm just, Justice Winslow's a player on the floor down there. He's going to be a regular rotation tonight. He usually plays some defense. Got to be aware of that. He could play some point guard too. We know that. So it's just little things. They're not the most talented team. We do have players on our team that should match up with theirs very well. If we play Thomas Bryant more, if we go to Winyon more, do the things that work. Learn from our mistakes. Austin Reeves, you know what I'm saying? He helps us a lot, but we got to use his foot speed properly. If he's going to be going up against guys that are faster than him, he's just going to have disadvantage. We want his intelligence on the floor, but he's got to kick up a notch on his conditioning. I ain't saying get hurt, but step it up, little brother. You got to get faster. You got to get stronger. Keep working. I'm a believer, obviously. I ain't taking him out of rotation, but I am aware that certain situations he's going to be at a disadvantage at the end of the day. He ain't there yet. His conditioning is not quite there yet, and that's our problem. We're leaning on players that ain't there yet. Troy Brown, he's a couple years away from being what it is we're asking him to be. He just is. I think that about some of our guys. And so, we're going to have to make them better. And it's going to be on LeBron James to make them better. We can't wait for Rob Pelinka to make a trade. We got to assume the trade ain't coming. And we have to be okay with that, man, because guys can't get better. Damn it, I don't want to hear this about guys can't get better. I've seen Troy Brown play well. I've seen Kendrick Nunn play well. I've seen all these dudes except for Damian Jones and basically Matt Ryan, who did hit a game-winning shot, play well. So as far as LeBron James not believing these guys or whatever, what have you, look, man, I have tempered expectations about most of them. But I also understand that we've won some games and we've lost some games we should have won. And the Indiana Pacers game is yet another one of them. This team is 7-12. They probably should be 500, more so. So I'm like at a space where I'm like, okay, I think this is a 500 ball club. So anytime we win, hooray. Anytime we lose, expect it. That's kind of where we're at with the team. You're going around giving up 138 points to tanking squads, and in the very next game, just completely collapsing in the fourth quarter, giving up a 17-point lead with 10 minutes left in the game. And not playing no defense to close out the basketball game, thinking the clock is going to save you instead of having an effort be your guide. I'm at a point where I look at this team and I say it's not about them taking steps back. They're just all over the place all the time. There's no steps. It's like a hyperactive elevator or something. It just stops at random floors. Like, that's what this is. So I'm over it. I'm rooting for him. I like a lot of the dudes on the team, but man, I just want us to get the ball to Anthony Davis. I think that can make us really excited about what we're looking at, because we know we have a superstar in place that can lead us with lesser talent. You give the ball to Anthony Davis with the level he's been playing at all week, you're going to win these games, man. Teams can't stop him, and if they are stopping him, they have to throw 4 or 5 players at him, as to which it leaves all of our other guys open. And with a complimentary piece like LeBron James, if he just settles into the idea like, yo, I am a God-level second player, number 2. There's never been a greater number 2 than myself if I just settle into the role and just realize I am the complimentary piece to the team. That's the shift at LeBron James. Like, I need help. No, brother, you're the help. AD's you. Be his help, and we win. That's the equation. So I'm over the main character, LeBron James. I'm the king garbage. I want to take that crown, and I want to just sit it right next to him and say, you could put that back on when we start winning, brother. For now, just be LeBron. Just be LeBron Ramon James. Humble yourself to be LeBron Ramon James. You know why? Because the GOAT can do that. I can't stress it enough. The GOAT is whatever the hell he needs to be. If you're the greatest player of all time, then that's exactly what you are. There's no situation that you can't adapt to be the best for yourself, for your team. If the team's ceiling is 50 wins, you're going to get us 51. If the team's ceiling is second round, we're going to get to the 7th game of the second round because you're the greatest player of all time. You're going to get the most out of that team and give them a little more than that. It's what's required to be the best. You're comparing yourself to Muhammad Ali. You're comparing yourself to Bruce Lee. You're comparing yourself to the greatest athletes ever walked the earth. Bill Russell. Mayweather. Everybody I could think of who ever played. Babe Ruth. Arthur Ashe. Tiger Woods. Serena Williams. That's who you're comparing yourself to, LeBron James. Not other basketball players, bro. Not just guys who running around. Not just guys in the field right now who happen to be one of these 30 teams. Ain't none of them ever going to reach the level you're trying to get to, bro. That you already are at, rather. That never, ever, you are an unreachable entity, LeBron. There's no catching you, bro. Just like for you, with respect, there's no catching Mike. You just got to let yourself be one of the guys because there's no insecurity necessary for your positioning. You are somebody that no one could ever touch, bro. So with that comes a certain level of critique that should only come to your name and Mike's. A certain level of demand that should come to only you and Mike. And a certain level of expectations that you can do what it takes that should only come to you and Mike. I'm not asking any of these humans outside of you and Mike to do the impossible. I honestly would not ask Kobe Bean Bryant to do what it is I'm asking LeBron James to do because he's supposed to be greater than Kobe Bean Bryant. Supposed to be. Ain't that what they've been telling us? The numbers tell us that. All of that's supposed to tell us that, right? He's supposed to be that. So when I'm asking him to pass more, shoot less, you know what I'm saying? Sit, if necessary. Empower AD, even if it hurts your ego a little bit, because that's what's best for us to win. And that's what's best for your legacy as a Laker. All of these different things. Be the best role player in the history of the sport, my guy. That's attached to the greatness that is the king. See, that's the beauty of understanding what greatness truly is. Greatness can always do what it needs to do. It can dumb it down if it needs to. What, you need me to score 5 points and get 12 assists? Oh, if that's what the team needs, I can do that right now. Who gonna stop me? They've never been able to. And that's what LeBron James needs to be able to say to himself. Who gonna stop me from doing that? Why do I need to act like the king? Why do I need to uphold the king? I'm the king. I don't need to act like it. I could walk into a room
wearing the most dingy, dirtiest stuff in the world, and I know what I've accomplished, and anybody recognize my face know what I've accomplished. I don't need to flex as king. I don't need to say, hey, Russell Westbrook, you can't do that. I don't want you to have the ball right now. I need the ball right now. But you're not going to help us win. Why the hell do you need the ball right now? See, I can see if you're stabilizing things and things are actually going right with you having the ball in your hands, but you turn the ball over, bricking shots. There's no evidence of you doing that. So why the hell do I not trust you when I seen Russell Westbrook make the last 5 plays? Because you don't trust him and you saw him bumble and fumble last year 160 times? I saw it too. Just because you're the king don't mean you say, oh, well, no, he doesn't get the ball. And look at him. I need the ball. And you're going to make the same mistakes that you expect him to make. I'm not with it, bro. You ain't no better than him. Somebody needs to tell LeBron that. You ain't no better than Westbrook. You're a better basketball player, but human being-wise, man, you're a person. You better remember that. And that's where I'm at with it, man. I was sick of this. I'm the king. Bro, the best kings are guys who know how to rule properly, man. The best kings are the guys who know how to make people love them. The worst kings are the ones who want out of here, man. The worst kings are the ones that ruled without any care for anyone else. They let their kingdoms be run down to the betterment of their exhaustion. And the only thing they were ever accused of was being horrible kings. That's what you want your legacy to be? I wouldn't even want my name to be king. I would want my name to be LeBron. Because LeBron James is the key to it, not the king. The moniker, the king, ain't what makes you special, brother. It's the name after that. They can call him the king, the chef, the golden boy, the ticket, the truth, the whatever it is. They're going to have to call him one of the greatest to ever do it, because that's exactly what he is. They told you was king because you had your name James. That's it. That's why the word king is there, because King James in the Bible. Brother, you ain't got to act up. You ain't got to live up to that nonsense. They lied to you when you were a child. Man, you ain't to live up to that crap. You need to be LeBron James, God's very own. He made you greater than a king, bro. Ain't no kings ever walked the earth been able to do what LeBron does. The word LeBron should come before king. The king is a secondary aspect of it, if y'all really want to know the truth. King is what they told him all of us want to reach for. A king could never reach for what LeBron James actually is. So let me just tell y'all, that's why I'm so hard on LeBron. That's why I be throwing so much anger at LeBron, because I know what God created him to be. He's a passer. He makes people better. He sees the floor better than everyone else. And now at the end of his career, he don't want to pass the rock, even though it's what's best for him. It's like, brother, didn't you realize it's the best thing God ever let you be is a passer? And you ain't even take advantage of that? You're trying to pass Kareem. You should be trying to pass up everybody who ever passed. You should be trying to break Scott Skiles' record. If you really want to know the truth, you should be trying to overcome Tyrese Halliburton's 40 assists and 0 turnovers. That's a more impressive feat for a LeBron James-like player. Why doesn't he understand this? Who the hell lied to him and told him that we want him to score more points than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Brother, we never wanted you to do that. We wanted you to pass more than Magic Johnson. You could never shoot like that. You was never a scorer like that. You know all them possessions you gave away doing things that you were not better at than passing? Do you realize how much more effective and efficient of a player you would have been if you would have passed the ball more? And it's sick because all of these people that scream his name in a positive light have told us he's the greatest passer of all time. They didn't tell us he was a selfish basketball player. They never told us that. We would not have asked him to come here if we would have thought he was going to be somebody that didn't want to pass. Somebody we thought we couldn't put players around because it was going to be too difficult to do so. We had that problem already with Kobe. We had that. We didn't want that. So now we got this guy here. He don't want to pass. He don't want to make players better. He ain't helping the team get better because of it. We can't trade these guys for nothing because they can't get better around him. But he always wants us to trade for lesser stuff. So we end up running into the ground trying to acquiesce to his nonsense. He leaves, go plays with his son in San Antonio or something, and we're stuck with garbage. No, man, enough. The only reason why I'm not screaming trade him is because it's mathematically not possible. Which is a rule I wish they'd fix. There's no reason why we should be stuck with anybody. If we don't want to keep him, get his ass out of here. And they ain't limited to LeBron. I'm talking about literally anyone. There should be nobody stranglehold of their team because they could get hurt at any moment, and now we can't keep that value. That stranglehold hurts the asset itself based on that truth. Remove those moratoriums or whatever the heck the word is, that little wait time. Oh, you traded him here, so now you can't trade him again. Get rid of that garbage. He signed an extension, so now you can't trade him. No, get him out of here. And that's exactly how I feel about LeBron James. I trade his selfish behind for 7 picks or 6 picks right now. He would be a New York Knick and he could chase Kareem there. You could shoot threes all day long. Julius Randle ain't gonna do nothing. He go sit there and get paid. They don't expect to win nothing. Don't do that with us. We trying to win, and we got a whole pantheon great here, and Anthony Davis finally waking up, finding himself. And this guy want to give me help, give me the ball. I can do. No, I am watching you mess up every other possession on both sides of the floor. I am watching you throw away possessions while other guys sit around and just get cold. I am tired of you. Damn it. We go talk the truth. And I want him to be better. It's not like I'm saying this because I want him out there to get worse. I've been saying send Kendrick Nunn home. He started playing better after that. I said send Russell Westbrook. He started playing better after that. I'm hoping the same thing happened with LeBron James. It's not like I'm sitting up here saying, well, God, I don't want to see King play great on our team. No, I want him to play his best. I've seen him do it a million times. But this defeatist, I don't care about nothing but my own goals attitude, I don't respect that as a fan or a person. I don't expect the display or the example. And that's all I'm seeing. There's more to it than that, of course. If I were a better basketball mind, I would be able to tell y'all what's really going on. I'm not that, but what I can tell you is my intuition's telling me that guys on that floor are not sacrificing for one another and not sacrificing for the team, and I ain't with it. I'll send guys away. I'll put LeBron James in a Celtic uniform before I watch him disgrace the Lakers. I promise you that. So that's where I'm at with that. And in this game, man, hey, man, we're playing the Portland Trailblazers. We got blown out last time we saw them. I think it was a blowout. I don't remember, but we definitely gave up too many points and didn't get Nurkic off the floor. So if you really want to beat this team, I do believe that getting Nurkic off the floor helps some. Getting those guys in foul trouble and then forcing them to shoot the 3-point shots that they ultimately want to take. Force them to take it too many. If they can hit 50% from behind the arc, we just tip our hats. But we don't want to try to get into a shootout with them, trying to match their 3-point shots and nothing like that. You'll never beat them. We got to play our game. Feed Anthony Davis and force those bigs who are not as talented as him to try to guard him. And if we give ourselves a healthy dose of Anthony Davis, he gives us his full production that he always does, we're going to walk out of here with a win. But if we continue to do what we've been doing, give the ball to LeBron James, let him be the main character and let him shoot us out of it. Let King James figure out whether or not he wants us to win tonight. If we're going to live and die by King, then we're going to die by King because he ain't about to do no living. My name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.